Once upon a time, a witch loved stories galore, and greedy as she was, she wanted more and more. When she saw that the librarian had stories of all kinds, she said, "I'll capture you, all your stories will be mine." There took place a curious chase through meadow, tree, and flower, till at last they ended up right at the witch's tower. Now poor Marian, the librarian, a prisoner she'll stay, until the witch is happy and lets Marian go away.
Hi, I'm glad to see you. Remember we said that we were going to get Kerfumbly a story about real animals today. Well, I've been waiting to show you some pictures that I found in Kerfumbly's trunk about how real tadpoles turn into real frogs. Now, in this picture, you can see the tadpoles just coming out of the eggs. They're very small, only about the size of your little finger. And in this picture, if you look closely, you'll see that the tadpole is beginning to grow a little hind leg. It's much too small for him to walk on yet, but it's beginning to grow there. Now in this picture, the tadpole looks much more like a frog. See his big hind legs? And what else is he beginning to grow? Arms, yes. Now, in this picture, the tadpole almost looks like a real frog, except that he still has a tail coming out of his body. And finally, in the last picture, he is a real frog that can jump and hop around. So I thought if we put these pictures in the Once Upon a Time machine, we might get a story about a real animal, a real tadpole turning into a frog. Now remember what we're going to put in here. First, the tadpoles growing and coming out of the eggs. And then after that, the tadpole with his hind legs just beginning to grow. And after that, the tadpole with his hind legs growing and his arms beginning to come out. And finally, the tadpole when he almost looks like a frog except for that tail hanging down from his body. And then the tadpole who is now a real frog. So, let's put these in the Once Upon a Time machine. And then we'll turn the machine on. The book is called Tim Tadpole and the Great Bullfrog. Marjorie Flack wrote this book.
Once there was a small pond at the edge of a wood. In the wintertime, this pond was very still, but in the springtime, these sounds came from the pond. Sing, 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 trilled the tiny peeper frogs. Jump, come jump, and jump, croaked the great bullfrog. But there was someone who lived in this pond who could neither sing nor jump, and this was a small tadpole named Tim. All day long and all night long, Tim Tadpole would listen and listen at the bottom of the pond and feel sorry for himself because he could neither sing nor jump. I can't sing, and I can't jump, and I can't find the sun. Now one warm day, as Tim Tadpole was wriggling in and out among the water lily plants, whom should he meet but Mr. Turtle? "Where are you going, Mr. Turtle?" asked Tim. "To sit in the sun," said Mr. Turtle, and up and away he swam. Then Miss Salamander came swimming by. "Where are you going, Miss Salamander?" asked Tim. "To sit in the sun," said Miss Salamander, and up and away she swam. Along came the great bullfrog. "Oh, where are you going, sir?" asked Tim. "To sit in the sun," said the great bullfrog, and up and away he swam. So Tim Tadpole followed after the great Bullfrog. Up and up swam the great Bullfrog, and up swam Tim, but the great Bullfrog climbed up on the mossy bank, and poor Tim could not follow after him, because he had no legs and no arms to climb with. Tim Tadpole was left alone with only the snails and little fishes, and they were not his friends. So now every day, all day long, Tim Tadpole felt sorry for himself because he could not find the sun. And every night, all night long, Tim felt sorry for himself because he could neither jump nor sing. I can't sing, and I can't jump, and I can't find the sun. One evening, just after day and just before night, as Tim Tadpole lay in the mud doing nothing whatever but feeling sorry for himself, along came the great Bullfrog. "Jump, come jump," said the great Bullfrog. "I can't sing, and I can't jump, and I can't find the sun," sang Tim, and he began to cry. "What can you do?" asked the great Bullfrog. "Swim, just swim," said Tim. "Well, then swim," said the great Bullfrog, and away he went. So all day long Tim swam, and he swam, and all night long Tim swam, and he never had time to feel sorry for himself at all. "I can swim, look everyone, and soon I'll find the sun." Until one day, what should Tim find kicking out near his tail but 2 legs? Then, "I have 2 legs, look everyone, soon I will find the sun." Soon came a day when Tim had a left arm, and then came a day when out came a right arm. "I have 2 arms, look everyone, soon I will find the sun." And every day Tim's tail was getting shorter and shorter, and his mouth was growing wider and wider. "My tail is short, look everyone, now I will find the sun." Up crawled Tim out of the pond into the air. But there was a strange creature looking for his supper. Down came his big bill, and splash! Back into the pond slid Tim, and away he swam from the great blue heron, just in time. Then at last came a day when Tim found he had no tail at all. No tail whatever. And his 2 arms and his 2 legs were big and strong, and then Tim knew he was no longer Tim Tadpole, because he was Tim Frog. "Now I can sing, now I can jump, now I can find the sun." Up and up swam Tim, up he climbed onto the top side of a water lily pad, and then Tim saw the great ball of a sun slipping down behind the tall trees. "Sing, sing, sing," trilled the gay peeper frogs. "I want to jump, I want to jump," sang young Tim Frog in his new little voice. "Then jump, come jump, and jump," croaked the great Bullfrog. And Tim jumped.
Wasn't that an interesting story about how a tadpole turns into a frog? I think this is a perfect story for Kerfumbly. Witches are supposed to like frogs anyway, you know. And if she likes this story enough, maybe she'll finally let me out of here. Will you help me call her? Left and right and Zachary Zoo, here's a story just for you.
Oh, hello, Marion. Do you have my story about a real animal ready?
Here it is.
Good. Tim Tadpole and the Great Bullfrog. Was Tim Tadpole happy or sad? Well, he was sad because he couldn't do things. Well, what couldn't he do? Oh, he couldn't jump. And he couldn't sing. And he couldn't find the sun. Well, what could he do? Oh, he could swim. So did he swim and swim? Oh, fun. And then what did he do? He grew legs. Oh, well, then what happened? He grew arms. Oh, oh, well, then what happened? He turned into a frog. Oh, Marion, I thought you said this was a story about a real animal.
Well, yes, it certainly is.
Well, then, why does the story say that frogs come from tadpoles?
Well, kerfumbly, because frogs really do come from tadpoles. See there?
Oh, Marion, you don't know anything. Frogs don't come from tadpoles. Frogs come from magic wands. Watch. With a croak and a ribbit and a higgledy-hog, come to kerfumbly, little frog. And that, Marion, is how you get a frog.
Well, that might be how you get frogs, but kerfumbly, real frogs come from tadpoles.
Oh, Marion, that's a silly idea. Now, if you want a frog, here, you take the magic wand, and you say, with a croak,
With a croak
and a ribbit,
and a ribbit
and a higgledy-hog,
and a higgledy-hog.
come to Marion, little frog.
Come to Marion, little frog.
Oh, see, Marion, frogs really do come from magic wands. Well, I guess you'll just have to get me another story. I did like the part about spring, though. How about a spring story that could really happen?
But I guess she never will believe that frogs do come from tadpoles. But we know that they really come from tadpoles, don't we? Will you look around for a spring story that could really happen? Oh, good. And I'll meet you right here next time.
Once upon a time, a witch loved stories galore, and greedy as she was, she wanted more and more. When she saw that the librarian had stories of all kinds, she said, "I'll capture you, all your stories will be mine." There took place a curious chase through meadow, tree, and flower, till at last they ended up right at the witch's tower. Now poor Marion, the librarian, a prisoner she'll stay, until the witch is happy and lets Marion go away.